Hey guys, Mike, another King Arthur Legends Rise video. Today we're going to piggyback on what we talked about in the previous video on the gearing and just kind of how I went through and cleared up my, my item box a little bit. Got myself all the way down to 871 pieces, which is pretty good for me. Usually I'm skirting right around this 1100 all the time, and I'm constantly just trying to figure out what to sell. But what I did go through, I can't really show you now because I already did it. But if you go into your sell items here, it allows you to filter out items. I'm in the wrong category though, so let me back out of here. We got to get over here because those will always have flat stats. So your helmet, your boots, and your chest plates will always be flat stat. But on these guys here, you have the option of percentage or flat stat on each piece. But if you come in here and you go into filter, you can select all of them depending on how many gear pieces you have, or you can do them individually. You scroll down here to main stat. You can select between attack, defense, and HP. You select attack, hit OK. It's going to move them all over here, and you just go ahead and sell them. What we found out yesterday was, or I guess it's probably a few days back, depending on when this video launches, is that a 5-star piece of percentage gear is better than a flat stat 6-star piece. So that's, you know, obviously your sub rolls are going to be better on a 6-star piece, but there's not really a purpose in putting gold into a flat stat piece over time. So in this example here, I actually did filter out my 6-star gear. It could be worthwhile to actually do the 6-star gear as well. It's so hard to get 6-star gear on the account. So these would be the pieces that are flat stat attack. But the reality is, for these pieces, I honestly wouldn't use any. I wouldn't put gold into any of these pieces because it's not worth it. So I think I am going to go ahead and sell these, even though they are tough to get on the account. I am trying to get some 6-star speed gear together, which will definitely help me out. But now that we have the 6-star selected, we can undo those because I already did the 5 and the 4-star. Come back in here. Now we did attack. We're going to move into defense and go into here. That's all my defensive pieces. So far I only spent a little bit of money on that one. But you can see I have quite a few pieces of gear that I'm going to be selling, which is pretty unfortunate. But a lot of that's coming from the gear that I did purchase, or I got with the crystals or the rubies. That got me 40 pieces of 6-star gear. So my account has actually made, I already did attack. We need to do HP. My account has made leaps and bounds of progress since I made those purchases with rubies. So I'm going to keep my eye out. Hopefully those guys come back, because I'd love to get a set or two of the speed gear now that my Nika's C8 and I don't need to have vigor on every single player. That'd be a great way for me to increase my Morgan speed. I did in the previous video try to get Morgan speed up and trying to go through the roll. I went through 45 polishing dusts and didn't hit the roll I wanted, but I did after that. We got that 13 on that video, but then on this piece here we did finally get it at 14. So my Morgan speed is now moving up to 313, which is a pretty big win. I did also get a 6-star orb here that got that attack speed up to 51 instead of 41 or 43 or whatever it is on a 5-star piece. So we did get her all the way up to 313, but if I could replace my vigor set here with speed and get some rolls in the speed gear, I think we could start pressing upwards of like 350 or higher, which is, I think, kind of getting more to that in-game build. Not to say, I mean, 313 is great. I'm pretty happy with it right now based on where everything is. And Morgan being in that vigor set makes her versatile for every team I put her in, not just when she's alongside Nika. As far as the events are going, I'm kind of wrapping everything up here. We got the crystal consumption event, which I knew I wasn't going to be able to max out just because those gears packs were in there and I knew I was spending it out of turn. Rewards in here obviously are good. If you can get into these memory stones, it's going to be super helpful, especially if you're still working on the consumption event, which probably only has a day or two left by the time this video is going to launch. So that could be something to work towards. But for me personally, I'm gonna start stacking up some crystals, because I actually have some of these memory stones going on right now because I already maxed out the event. I'm starting to save for next time, but I'm not going to go above and beyond to spend crystals that I don't want to. On this event here, I'm not really going above and beyond here either. You got 5 uprated summons, and you're kind of potentially blowing through gold, but I do want to actually spend the next week building my account. So the Nika event is almost wrapped up. I just have a little bit of work left to do here to get these 10 summons, but I got 5 days to do it. As of the launch of this video, it's probably 1 or 2. But for the next few days, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be stocking resources. So the first thing I'm looking at, let's get into here, is I'd like to stack up these orbs. I have 1 legendary character on my account that is not 6-star. So I would like to get him to 6-star and then get 50 of these orbs before the reset where we get a new banner. Just in case I need to max out a character quickly, I want to make sure I have the resources. So I do want to spend some time in Pinvid, just get an extra 50 of these guys ready to rock and roll. The other thing I'm doing is I am spending a little extra time in the favor dungeons to make sure I'm stacking up these. So you can see my serpents are doing pretty well with 100 here. Give me a good head start in case a serpent champion came out with an event like Brennan's where I had to max that character out to get extra copies or whatever the case is. I'm going to make sure those are there on the account. We also started to stack up some of these steeds here as well as some crows, but we are going to keep working on these because I think 100 is going to be the minimum that I want to have on the account. And then obviously I also want to upgrade some champions, so I need to get more than that. I am working on Iwarit, so I need more serpents than what I got here, but I'm kind of running out of stamina. So that might be something that I try to press on. Just day by day, if I make incremental gains, slowly but surely I'll have 100 of each of these, and then I can kind of focus on who I want to build. By doing that, it'll also put my rares and uncommons in there, so it'll kind of stack up all those. I am holding on to pedestals just to make sure. Probably about 100 would do the trick, maybe a little more, but that is a rare resource that's kind of hard to accumulate quickly if you needed to. So I want to make sure that I have those in case I do need to max out a character quickly. The other thing to consider is that event lasted 14 days, so it gave me plenty of time to work towards stuff. But pedestals, talismans, and books are really going to be limiting on how many you can actually put on your account in 14 days. So that is just something to keep in mind. Obviously, talismans, the opportunity here. I've been doing the talisman dungeon instead of the book dungeon. Starting to stack those up. We're getting 90, 100. Right around 100 is where I want to be. 120 is a little healthier. That's kind of where I'm looking to be. And then I can start upgrading characters when I get beyond that. On these guys here, I can farm them, but I am trying to stack them up. Every day in the shop, or in the market, I come in here, I buy the books, I buy the talismans. On the brooches, depending on the brooch, how many I have, like I have 386 of these, which is kind of nice. It tells you that right here. It's pretty cool. So I'm like, I don't really need to spend the money on that because I already have 386 of them. But a lot of times they'll come in and say, oh, you got 40 or you have 90. Be like, oh, you know what? I'm going to buy 10 more because obviously I need those ones. We come down here. I didn't buy these books because I have 589, but typically I'd buy all the books that are available. Here I bought the whetstones because I only had 30 of them on the account. So those are areas where you can kind of step up some of these resources pretty easily. That doesn't require a lot of stamina or any real investment other than gold. So as we kind of roll through there, on the seeds, I'm doing just fine. I can max out a relic right away if I need to, except for these polishing powders. I went through and got myself down to 7 here, which is no good. And then also on these resources here. So what I'm going to be doing in the next few days, or books, I'm doing okay, but I do need to get back in and do some storm books as well, but talismans are definitely their priority right now, and I do also need some rare flame or rare frost books as well. So that's going to be kind of an opportunity for me also. But over the next week, seeing how I have time, I'm going to be utilizing my stamina in the Shrine of Storms with the Storm Cat Tarask. Get through and get as many of these guys stacked up. Try to get closer to 100 of each of these guys, so I have those on the account. I'm going to probably try to source these out, which I think you're going to get these in, let's see, your source info. I think, yeah, in hell mode, I can go in here, spend some stamina knocking that out, and just get a few of those on the account at least. Nice thing about that is I can farm that at any time as much as I want, as long as I have stamina. So there's not really a limiting factor. Same thing with the Storm Cat. So we're going to get in there, get some of those guys. We're also going to get some of the mythic orbs. We're probably going to take Florentius. He's my last legendary character. So if I come out here into a sort and go to legendary, he's my last legend. Oop, I'm spinning Morgan around. We're dancing. I don't know, somehow her back to me just made me feel uncomfortable. So we have Florentius here at 5-star. Every other legendary is 6-star. Finally moved Lot up, so that was a pretty big win. And we're 1 orb away from Florentius. Outside of that, we're 1 legendary away from maxing the account out. So at that point, all of my mythic orbs can go straight to rare characters, and I can start maxing out my rare characters. So we're just kind of moving through. Irit would like to get that 6-star awaken because I'm in focus on her. Also on my Merlin build, I've been working on some stuff there. With this build, I don't even have his gear maxed out yet, but I did move him all to 6-star pieces with the exception of his keepsakes. And he rolled through floor 92 of Forbidden Dungeon, no problem. So once I get enough resources on the account, I do want to jump back in the relics. I want to get Morgan's Frost Relic completely dialed in and pretty close. Probably actually do her Storm Relic first and get that one at least up to like 5-star 50. But I think that that's going to help me progress through Forbidden Dungeon stage 11 on hard, which is just, you have to have 3 Storm characters, and that's where I'm falling down because I just can't put my normal team together, which is fun because it challenges you to use different players. But with that Storm Relic kind of hurting, and I need some love. I also need to step up the active skills. But again, these are those resources that I do want to make sure I have an abundance of before I start utilizing them in places like this. Once my Morgan's dialed in, I want to move right over to Nika, start working on her Frost Relic, and then also just pay attention, a little closer attention to her build and make sure she's maxed out. Eventually, I'd like to move her from a Vigor set into a Speed set because Nika will never be on a team without Nika. And so Nika, with her chivalries and so forth, is going to be basically getting extra chivalry all the time, plus the Serpent and everything else she's doing with amplification. So having her in a Vigor set is really overkill at this point. But I do want to make sure that the speed set I put her in is up to par and making sure my heals are coming in strong. But making her faster, and even if her heals are a little less than what they are now, you're getting them more frequently. So that would be a better alternative than actually what I got going on right here. But I do need to put together some good speed gear. From there, my priority is Irit, getting Irit completely dialed in. I got to rebuild her completely. Have not spent any time on this build at all since I initially put gear on her. So there's a lot of opportunities here. And then Merlin is another focus that I'd like to really start working on also. But, you know, slowly but surely getting 6-star awakened on all of the legendary champions. Even, you know, the Gwaines and the Calerisons that I'm never really using. But I do feel like she can be a great champion, and there will be times that it makes sense to have her doing a thing on the account. I did want to make it mention too in the clan, if you are not in a clan right now and you're looking to join MikeGoG, we are just having fun. It's casual. Not all of our play, like I'm probably the strongest player on the clan right now, and that's not to say a whole lot, but we are welcoming anybody and everybody. Ultimately, we want 25 people that are willing to log in daily just so that we can get the rewards. We don't have a minimum power setting or anything like that. So if you just started the game, please come join us. We'd love to have you. I know right now they've got the clan war going. Unfortunately, you can't register for a clan war unless you have 12 members in your guild or in your clan. So unfortunately, we missed this clan war on MikeGoG, but we'd love to get 12 folks before the next one to make sure that we're getting those juicy rewards as well. Hopefully all the way up to 25. But probably not a lot of new players in the game because Netmarble's not advertising their game and trying to bring people in, which is kind of frustrating in its own respect. But I don't get it. It's a great game, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. And I think a lot of other people out there will too if they even knew about it. The other thing I have been doing on the account to supplement some builds is in the crafting here, you can craft belts, orbs, and banners. And so like for Morgan, I went right in there, I grabbed the Serpent, I crafted in the Strife set. May or may not have been the right set for her, but occasionally she does kill somebody, then she gets to go twice. She brings the turn meter down even more. But going in here and actually just keep going until I got a 6-star attack speed was a great way for me to increase her attack speed. If you're looking to do damage for, say, your Bedivere, you could come in here, do a banner, try to get a Pierce. Also on a Strife set, probably a good choice for Bedivere. He kills a lot of people, so getting able to go again would be pretty cool. Pretty sure Bedivere's a crow. But you go in there, you make the pieces. So as you're making your builds, you can come in here and specifically farm or craft the pieces that you need to finish your build out. So jumping out into my Nika, I could jump in here and make this Immortal set, wait till I get a 6-star with recovery, and then go ahead and get that extra recovery on her. I do think I want to move this orb from recovery over to speed. So by getting the extra recovery on the belt, I'm going to have probably an extra, I don't know, 10%, 8 to 10% recovery, which is going to negate the loss of this recovery quite a bit. And then I can move her into speed and move her attack speed up to something a little more reasonable than the 162. Probably get her over 200. Now I'm getting those heals a lot more frequently. But I can go through and with those resources slowly move these into 6-star pieces that make sense for her. But even just moving through these pieces and getting a matching set of Immortal where she gets this barrier could be a huge win for her, just making her even more survivable and more tanky, especially in arena. That could be a really good way to spend a little bit of energy there. Before we jump out, I am going to actually try to beat the game on hell mode here, 10-7. This is my last chapter that I need any stars. Everything before this is all full 3 stars, so hopefully we can put a team together that's going to work here. I think we're going to go for more survivability. We'll bring Nika in for her extra HP on her lead ability. We're going to do Morgan over here for turn meter manipulation. We're also going to do Guinevere to make sure that Cromcroc doesn't eat all of our people. And then we're going to grab Bedivere here to actually do our damage. So hopefully with this build, and Guinevere I really haven't spent any time on. She probably has a pretty garbage build. May not even have full gear on her. Let's actually take a peek and see what I got going on. Because I did move a bunch of gear around when I was working on her. So yeah, we're at level 9 on most of her gear. This is a 4-star leveled up to 7, so straight trash, garbage gear. But ultimately she's just in there to keep everybody from getting eaten. So we're gonna give this a shot and see if we can beat it. It's kind of funny that I haven't tried this in a while, so hopefully we'll have a good time. Let's go ahead and take a peek at our skills. We got A3 on Nika with the A1, A2 for Morgan. Right now I think we're gonna dumb this down just to her A1 because I don't think she's good enough to do anything other than just stack vigor on the account. And Bedivere, we're going to let him do what he wants to do. We should have plenty of vigor on this team just because of Nika and her Chivalry 8, plus everybody's in vigor sets on top of the Serpent Morgan extra amplification Nika's bringing in. So theoretically we should be just doing A3 every time. But we're going to go with this route and just see how this goes. So nobody got eaten. That's why Guinevere's in there. So that's pretty good. We got our defense down and our increased damage taken. So hopefully we can start doing some pretty good damage to Cromcroc here. So Cromcroc just came in with his big hit and actually one-shot. Everybody was max health. One-shot my Guinevere. Which isn't surprising just because we saw how trashy her gear was. Nika's heals are coming in pretty big and strong right now, and she's doing that. We're getting 14,000 health, so 2 heals later, we're all topped off, and Cromcroc couldn't get us done, so we're going to make it through this no problem. Getting 3 stars on this looks like it's going to take a minute because I got 30 turns total to be able to do it, and I'm not going to be able to have anybody die. So that's going to be a little bit tougher to get all the way to that point. But so far, so good as far as what the team is doing. Definitely could spend some time on Guinevere to make her more survivable. Just add a lot of defense and get her in 6-star gear. She'd be good to go. So bring you back in here. Things are looking pretty good. We got a increased damage taken there. Bedivere's smacking pretty good. That was the big hit, and you can see it didn't do anything. So we're going to make it through this no problem with these 3. And I could do it with all 4 of them. It did take me 75 turns, unfortunately, so we have a lot of work to do as far as expediting that run. But we could farm here if we wanted to, and this is going to be a 100% team. So that's pretty cool. These rewards do kind of crack me up a little bit. This is the hardest story mode, and it's the last level. We're getting 4-star gear. Which is kind of dumbfounding. Like this, wherever you're going to put 6-star gear in the game, you'd feel like this might be the spot. Even if it's just common or uncommon, and you don't get rare or legendary until you get into a dungeon, but you'd think you'd get at least 5 and 6-star gear exclusively with the final boss. But, you know, it is what it is. So we jump out here. I don't know if that doesn't get us the reward. We're going to have to 3-star everything in order to get it. It did get us over here, though, so we'll get to pick that up and take on that. So that's pretty fun. So we officially beat the game on story mode, which is pretty exciting. Adventure mode, I still have those 2 chests to do on Chapter 10. I probably will do those on camera, so when I do finally get those done, I'll bring you guys back in for that to pick up those last memory stones. But let's take a peek at what we have to pull today. We got 2 of these guys. Maybe we get lucky. I don't know. We'll see. Nope, we did not. We got 4 of these guys. There are still 3 rare items on the account. I'm pretty confident I got everything for Rosier there. And then we'll jump over and we'll pull these guys as well. If we jump over into our codex here before we get over to Lake Avalon, you can see I'm stacking up some of these relics for the legendary champions. Right now, Gillian's Frost Relic is in the shop, so I am going to go pick that up as well. But when we go over to the rares here, I literally need the Storm Relic for Frederick, the Flame for Bodwin, and Frost for Arthur. So those are the three that I'm looking for. And then Uncommon and Common, we're maxed out across the board. So we have all those guys. But those are the three relics I'm actually in the market for. But let's jump over into the shop and actually pick up that relic. So I have 98,000 tokens, which is pretty close to 52.5. So we're going to grab Gillian's Frost Relic behind me here for 52,500. Now when it comes to, again, I'm only 5,000 points away from being able to buy another one. So let's just say tomorrow in the market something popped up that I didn't have. That I was really excited about. I might be able to figure out a way to get those tokens and get that on the account. And that's why I was holding off. I have heard that Gillian's Frost Relic is actually a good relic that you do want on the account. So it's not just me being a collector. So that is kind of nice as well. But we're going to jump into these normal summons. We got a 10 pull here. Not really hoping for anything here other than a rare character. If we get lucky enough to pull one that we are still working on Chivalry, and we are, which is pretty cool. Not guaranteed to get a rare on those 10 pulls with the common pulls there. So let's see who we get. And we got a Círdan. Already Chivalry level 10, so that'll be tokens for us, so no big deal there. Just adding those up as well. On these guys, we're 29 away from Pity. We're going to go ahead and pull these and see what we can get. Maybe we get lucky. Maybe we don't have to go to Pity. I have been super lucky lately, so I'm due a couple single rare pulls. That's even 3 rares. I'll take that. That's pretty good. So let's see. We got Bands dialed in, or no, that's Nicholas. Sorry, Nicholas is dialed in at Chivalry level 10. So is Círdan and Arduin. So that's all tokens right there. Pretty good. So we'll jump back over into the shard shop. Do the exchange here on those. So everybody, we got today, already he was maxed out Chivalry, so nothing really left to do there, but we are going to go in here, grab Gillian here, and then jump on the relics over here, grab the Frost Relic, and that will be all the relics for Gillian on the account. So that's a big win. But I think that's about what I got for you. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me all the way to the end. If you haven't liked and subscribed to the channel, please do so. It means the world to me. If you are looking for a clan, please come join us over at MikeGoG. We'd love to have you. And I look forward to seeing you next time.